So here's a little, I guess this would be late winter, check-in of the garden. Although I've been showing little videos on Instagram, and my bloggy that I had used for, I don't know, 12 years finally stopped working. So I'm using my phone, and I know the audio can be kind of bad, so if it's really quiet, I apologize. But you can see all the daffodils are blooming, and there's those are kind of like the little ones that have naturalized, but there's some other ones that I planted that are coming up. And this clump of plants right here, that's larkspur. I have some there, and I have one there. I thought I had another one in here. Oh yeah, there's two right there. And they tend to self-seed every year, so they're fun. I put in some buckwheat and poppies here, but nothing. It's been cold and now it's warm, so go figure. We'll see how things go. But all the trees are pruned back. I pruned the apricots finally, because it did look like they were starting to, let's see if I can show you on here. You can see how the buds are starting to swell there. So I pruned a lot out on this one and the one further out there. In here I just put some rhubarb roots to see how I can have rhubarb growing in here. There is some more poppy and buckwheat there, and then there's usually comfrey that comes up here. And when I was trimming the blackberry back in like early winter, I stuck a few sticks right in there to see if I can get some growing there. And of course there's little daffodils that are naturalized ones that are coming up everywhere. Right here. I think I want to do some strawberries in here, so I have to find out which ones I want to do. And here's some more, this is a plum. And you can see some of the buds are starting to, let's see, do that? Yeah, a little bit of green there. Leaf buds. Pomegranate. Yeah, looks like the buds everywhere are starting to swell. And then I have a few raspberries in here that I'm going to put some cages around before they start growing, so they have better support than they have had other years. Trimmed back all the dead stuff on the oregano and the thyme. Hopefully they'll come back. And the sage. The sage usually does pretty well. There should be a horseradish coming up in here sometime. That's my St. John's wort that'll come back. There are some hollyhock and some milkweed and different things in here that'll come up. Here's my little stump planter from the dogwood that I had taken out. So, and then in summer or later in spring, when those are done, I was thinking of putting in some trailing nasturtiums there. And in here, there's echinacea, there's anise hyssop, there's a bunch of stuff that will come back. There might be some trellises with sweet peas in here. I'm not sure yet. There's mugwort there that'll come back. That's regular mugwort. And I have California mugwort over here too. There's some tulips coming up in here. The horehound has kind of stayed alive all year, and I have another one that came up under the plum tree. And these are like the native coneflowers. There's some catnip that'll be coming back. There's a lot of stuff in here like valerian and motherwort. The feverfew kind of keeps going even through winter. Of course, we haven't had sustained cold this winter. We've had periods of cold. Tansy is back here, as well as meadowsweet. And there is one, where are you? Oh, this is a native delphinium coming back there. And I had a bunch of daffodils that I moved from where we took out the old dogwood, and I put them in here. There should be some rhubarb that I have had coming up in here again at some point. Blackberries. Let's see. And so, you know, all my veggies and stuff will go in there. I trimmed back all my black currant over here. Oh, look, there's some little tiny crocuses coming there and here. And there's some Aquilegia coming back up here. Of course, other tulips and daffodils. More that I planted over here. I was getting out some of the periwinkle in there, which periwinkle and English ivy, the bane of my existence. Avery, let's go back. Come on. And then I took there was a muscadine I had grown from seed that was there in a pot. Planted it over here where I had planted a hops back when I first got this cleared out. There we go. And I moved that hops over by the old hops because these will have lots more sun now. And they can grow all the way up there. The passion vine will come back here. There's some motherwort that has naturalized itself over there, and that's fine. And there is always lunaria that comes up every year. My rosemary could look better, but I'm sure it will bounce back, as well as the camellia here. And this rose. This rose never really completely died back this winter. And back here we've got some nettles coming up. This is the mulberry that I think I saw some buds on, swelling. Yeah, you probably can't see it here. It's kind of like hard to see, but yeah, that one's coming back. These are some more figs. And back here I think I'm going to plant this pawpaw that I grew from seed. And I am going to put it right where I have the pot right there. So I will be doing that, and I could see that the buds on it are swelling. Got a little bit of leaf bud there. And these were some hosta that I transplanted that it was underneath the dogwood too, and I just brought them back here. And I think they'll spring back over the course of the year. Again, back here there's all sorts of little clumps of daffodils. And these little guys, which are, there's one that's starting. These are a dark purple crocus, and they generally get quite large, so those are exciting. And all the little daffodils back here. In here will be some mayapple when it finally comes up, but that usually doesn't come up until closer to May. My mushroom logs were pretty much a fail, but that's okay. There's a bunch of daylily that'll come up in here, and there's some bluebells in here as well, Virginia bluebells. And there's some Solomon seal that's back in there. There's a lot of things that haven't quite popped up. I did buy some ramps roots last year, but I haven't seen anything that looks like them growing at all in here. I don't think so. I don't know what happened to them, so we'll see. What else back here? Well, I've got some haskap over here that is starting to leaf out as well. I don't know, they don't get enough sun back here. Someday I'll have to move them, I think. And I didn't get around to moving this big blueberry either. It's probably going to be another year, but it's growing into a tree, a blueberry tree. And this is my native persimmon that never put out any new growth last year, but it did stay alive, and I just hope it isn't dead. And let's see, let's go inside and I can show you the seedlings. Oh, it's warm today. It's ridiculously warm. I heard peepers. I think I already said that. There's my dill and parsley. There's my yuzu. I planted some angelica seed in those pots, as well as I planted some in-ground outside. Okay, let's go inside, Avery. I'm just getting back from our walk. And let's see. So here are different kinds of tomatoes are growing, the eggplant and peppers. And I have a few more downstairs by another light, but I don't have to take you down there to see it. So, so that's it. I thought I would give you a little kind of check-in, and we'll see how things go. This weather is crazy. It gets cold and then warm and then cold and then warm. But I am glad we did have a little bit of rain last night. That was good. All right. Bye-bye.